All right, welcome everybody. Happy Monday night. Thank you as always for coming on. Before I introduce our very special guest speaker tonight, I wanted to just compliment you guys, all of you, and tell you something that I notice about you guys. Emily came on last week and she did a call about Facebook Living, right? And of course, on these team calls, we have people that are brand new coaches, we have people that are veteran coaches, and it just kind of blew me away to see how many of you were actual practitioners. You didn't just show up, say, hey, I was on that team call, check that box, but you actually apply. I mean, seriously, I just sat down on Facebook just to get on this team call 10 minutes ago, and within just looking at my notifications in a couple seconds, I see Atlantis and Lindsay both on live with live videos. So you guys are amazing. I love that about you. Let's keep that up. That's a Gary V word, practitioners. So let's take something away tonight from our guest speaker and let's put it into practice. And I don't even know what she has in store for us. So let me now introduce her. I'm going to introduce her probably in a similar way that I've done in the past, because it's just the truth and it's just me speaking from my heart. CJ and I met a while back. We met through, Facebook Team Fit Finances, because we're cousins in the Team Fit Finance lineage. She is extraordinary. And if you don't know that, you are brand new to this team. Because everybody who's been around and has rubbed shoulders with her knows that she's an extraordinary woman and an extraordinary human. And we love her, and we love Billy, her husband. And man, they've been through a lot. And she has mentored me in my business. I call her one of my very few, one of maybe a couple success partners. She was the person in my business that I can say, but for her, I wouldn't have been an elite coach. She was able, animals are going crazy behind me. She was able to show me how to interpret things in the sponsorship drill down. And she just was able, how sometimes, that light bulb that can go off in your mind? She was able to make my light bulb go off. And I haven't been the same coach since that day. And what's amazing is she does that for me and I don't affect her business. And she's done that for so many of you guys. She spends, some of you guys are directly on her team and in her sponsorship here, but some of you aren't, because you're in my team and we're not we don't line up in the tree that way, and yet she will take time. And time. Embers, how much time have you spent with this woman on the phone? She will spend, yes, mad love, CJ, from Nick. And Nick's coming in as Andrea, by the way, so that was a little bit confusing for half a second. She literally is a mentor to all of us. It is her gift, shepherding, instruction, and I'm also going to say public speaking. So you guys are in for a treat, because she's probably like the best speaker that you're going to get on one of my team calls. The rest of us are normal. We talk normal, but she's actually a really gifted speaker. So take notes. Know that you're hearing from someone very special to me, but very special in our organizations, both of ours. And let's become practitioners. Okay, go ahead, unmute, and I'll mute myself.
So in November of 2000, I filed bankruptcy, academic bankruptcy. Coming out of high school, I had no desire to go to college, like none. But it was what I was told that I was supposed to do. And so I went to a junior college, and I spent a semester doing as bare minimum as I could just to get by. And trust me, my grades were just getting by. My second semester, my parents had told me, if you don't step it up, you're going to pay for your third semester. Well, I had no desire to go to college. So why in God's green earth would I want to pay to go to college? I wouldn't. So I went ahead and I decided that I was going to withdraw out of a couple classes and fail a couple more. The following semester, guess what? My parents didn't pay for me to go to college, and so I didn't have to go to college. Now, that's not to say that I didn't have dreams and I didn't have goals, but at that time in my life, college just wasn't part of them. I was very young when I got married and very young when I had Samantha, and then I turned around and had Michael. And when Samantha and Michael were just a couple of years old, my husband and I had separated. Now, at this point in my life, I had so-so jobs. My very first job was at Baskin-Robbins scooping ice cream. My second job was at Burger King. I had another job for about a year and a half, 2 years at a formal wear, so measuring guys for tuxedos and getting them all fancy for weddings and proms and things of that nature. But that was literally the extent of my experience. And so now here I am. I'm newly divorced or separated at the time. I had just moved back to my hometown of San Jose. I had to raise 2 kids by myself with no experience in life. So I went out and I did the thing that I always do when push comes to shove, and I found a job. I spent the next 2 years in accounting. I was very good with numbers, and as many of you can attest, I'm very good with numbers. But it just wasn't my thing. So I was working at a company called Abacab Software. What a name. And I was doing all of their bookkeeping, payroll, things of that nature. And this one payroll, I happened to see Dennis's check. Dennis was the sales guy that worked in our office. And Dennis's check was $28,000. That was for a single check. And I was like, holy crap. All he did was sales. How is he making that much money? So after a couple of informational interviews with Dennis, I realized that his total compensation package was based on how much he sold. And so I asked him, would you teach me? Would you teach me like how what you do and how you do this? And he's like, yeah, sure. Just talk to the boss. And it was a small company. And so I was the only one doing accounting. So I scheduled a meeting with the CEO. I went and I met with him that day. And I basically asked him if he would allow me to do accounting 3/4 of the time and then allow Dennis to mentor me a quarter of my 40-hour work week so that I could learn the sales process. I shared with him that he didn't need to pay me anymore, that I just wanted the experience. I wanted to learn what to do and how you did it and what you did every day. And Srinath, great name, said no. I was blown away. I'm like, I'm giving you my offer to work for you in addition to what I already do at no extra cost to you, and you're going to say no? Like in my head, I'm thinking, dude, you're dumb. So I went home that night. Now here I am with 2 little kids, paving my own way financially. And I decided, you know what? Screw this guy. I put together a resume, including my formal wear sales experience and some of the other kind of odds and end jobs that I had had over the course of my life. And I submitted 50 resumes in a single evening. That next day, I had 5 scheduled interviews. 2 weeks later, I had a job making more than I was making with no experience in sales whatsoever. And I gave my 2 weeks. Now, the moral of that story is essentially that in my life, I believe that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. Now, how does that apply to what we do in network marketing? Well, it boils down to discipline. A lot of times on the different calls that you've probably heard, you've actually heard the word consistency. And I personally don't believe in consistency. I believe that consistency is a fleeting resource, just like motivation. I actually like to look at my business in a more disciplined manner. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean that there's time in my life when I'm not disciplined. I could sit here and give you a list of times a mile long. But guess what? I know that when I'm not disciplined, then my business is going to dip. And there's nobody to blame but myself, because I take ownership of my own business with that discipline. Now, where I want to take this from here is, how disciplined are you in your business? Are you really, truly taking 100% responsibility for your business? It's not your upline's responsibility. It's not your downline's responsibility. It's yours. And are you taking that responsibility? So there are a couple of things that I want to share with you guys today, which is essentially a checklist. Now, when Ellen and I started coaching, there were no checklists really. The training that Beachbody gave back then was like maybe 100th of what we all get access to today. We didn't have the access to the trainings that all of you guys have access to. We really had to kind of fail forward. So I'm going to give you a quick little check sheet today, and it's applicable to new coaches and veteran coaches. So let's get started. So on a scale, a discipline scale of 1 to 10, I want you guys to write these things down and then score yourself on the side. 1 being, not so much, and 10 being, I rocked that, or I rock that. All right, number 1 is personal development. Now stop tuning me out. I know many of you are like, oh my gosh, wah, wah, wah. We hear this all the time, but you hear it because it's important. How many times when you were in school, elementary school, did you hear your teacher go over your times tables? Did she go over them once? Probably not. Maybe 5 times? Probably not. I know we've at least got one teacher on this call tonight, and she could probably tell you that when you're learning multiplication, you go over your multiplication facts time and time and time and time again before they actually stick and become habitual. Something where if I were to say to somebody on this call, what's 6 times 5? Boom, you know it. So these are the things, I want you guys to think about these things in that way, not, oh my gosh, here's another call on personal development. So number 1, personal development. On a scale of 1 to 10, from a discipline scale, score yourself where you're at. Now, personal development I don't mean just a 1 minute with Maxwell or a 2-second or 2-minute, Darren Hardy. I mean, are you actually diving into personal development? Are you listening to a full podcast to help you move your business forward? Are you listening to audiobooks for at least 15 minutes? Are you reading for at least 15 minutes a day? That's what I mean by personal development. All right, number 2, Shakeology in your workout. Now, Ellen did a call a couple of weeks ago, and it knocked my socks off. And she talked about being a finisher, somebody that starts and finishes a full program. And I can tell you that I've suffered from that disease for a long time. And today I push play for the very first time on Core de Force. And I truly have not worked out for about 3 months due to the move and all the stuff that's happened around us. Now, again, that's an excuse, but I'm willing to own my excuse and not say it's somebody else's fault. It's my fault. I chose not to do a program during this move because of this level of stress that I was under. But today I pushed play. So score yourself on a discipline scale of 1 to 10. Are you truly drinking your Shakeology every single day? It's not a 5-day-a-week meal replacement. It's not a 5-day-a-week protein drink. It is a daily source of dense nutrition. So are you drinking it daily? And are you currently pushing play and following a program? I can tell you that over the course of the last couple of months, one of my coaches I've been so impressed with, and she's on tonight, and that's Lexi. Lexi had really struggled with finishing programs. She had really struggled through the course of her coaching career, and she's been a coach for a couple of years. And over the course of the last couple of months, I've watched Lexi come out of her shell on social media. I've watched her confidence grow because she's committed to these programs, and I've watched her do it, and it's been amazing. So take it from Lexi. Take it from other people on Team Play Hard that actually are program completers like Lindsay. And it is a huge boost, not only in your business, but more importantly in your confidence. So where do you score yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 in discipline for workouts and Shakeology? Number 3 is invite. Now, I got to be really honest with you. People don't invite like they should. People think, oh, if I invite one person a day, to join my challenge group, that's okay. Or if I invite 2 people a day to, my free group, that's okay. If you truly have big, hairy, audacious goals in this business, then you need to be inviting in multiple categories. You need to be inviting people to like your like page. When was the last time that you went into your friends list and invited those people to like your page? You need to be inviting to the business opportunity. If you are not inviting one person a day, a minimum of one person a day, and preferably closer to 3, to the business side of it, then you're not doing your business justice. Then you need to be inviting for challenge groups. You need to be inviting for free groups if you are running them, and you need to be inviting for sneak peeks. If you are not using the all-encompassing inviting to include all of those areas, then you're not truly inviting in a way where you want to be the best coach that you can be. So on a scale of 1 to 10, a discipline scale, write down where you're at in inviting. Next, number 4 is recognition. Hold on one second. My son just came down sleepwalking. Pause. Sorry about that. Anybody's kids sleepwalk? Okay, cool. All right. Recognition. That's where I was. So recognition. All right. So recognition can be done in multiple different ways. And recognition isn't just recognizing, like I just did with Lexi, a coach that's kicking butt and taking names in a specific area. Recognition can be standing in the Walmart line and Cindy is checking you out. And you say to Cindy, hey, Cindy, I really appreciate what you do. Because if you didn't do what you do, I couldn't come through line and purchase the things that I need to purchase. Or maybe go through the Starbucks line and the barista hands you your drink, and you say to her, you know what, or him, we'll say his name's John. Hey, John, I really appreciate what you do. Thank you for what you do. So recognition goes across the board, because when you recognize people like that, when you recognize people in the business, when you recognize your challengers, it makes you more aware of being grateful, and it makes people more aware of your generosity. So on a scale of 1 to 10, across the board for recognition, not just in a Beachbody business way, how do you scale yourself on a 1 to 10? And that should be a discipline. That should be something that you do on a daily basis. All right, number 5, social media. Now, I don't hold a candle to people like Ellen and Emily and some others on social media. But social media, again, is all-encompassing across the board. It's not just posting. It's engaging. It's engaging, making sure that you're liking the comments on yours and engaging on those. It's engaging on other people. So how well do you do social media? So how well do you post? How often do you post? How well do you engage? Are you doing the Facebook Live? Because you got amazing training last week from Emily. So are you being disciplined in your social media on a scale of 1 to 10? Score yourself. Number 6, add to your network. This is, like I said earlier, inviting to your like page, friend requests, following other people on things like Twitter and Instagram, depending on what social media platforms you're using. But adding to your network also includes in person. So when was the last time you went into a store, engaged in conversation with people, and ended up walking away with a contact? So it has to be in person too. Now remember, this business, way back when it started, when coaching started 8-9 years ago, the social media wasn't like it is today. And it was a business that was belly to belly. And even though the bulk of all of our businesses is done on social media now, it still requires you to get belly to belly with people. One of the things I love that Ellen does is she has a local team. And she's been able to pull people in for different things and really truly be belly to belly with her coaches. If you have that opportunity to be belly to belly with your upline or your downline or even a crossline, take that opportunity to be belly to belly with those people as well. Number 7, and I'm going to probably stump everybody on this for this one, and I would venture to bet most people are going to score really low on this. Do you ask for referrals on a daily basis? When you get a no from somebody, are you saying, all right, cool, awesome, maybe next time, do you know anybody that could benefit from this? Are you going to your challengers that are kicking butt and saying, oh my gosh, you're doing so amazing. Do you have any friends that you would want to do it with you? Are you asking for referrals daily? Because if you're inviting properly, you're getting no's enough. And if you're getting no's enough every day, then you should have the ability to ask for referrals every day. So are you asking for referrals? Number 8, check your online office. No, I don't just mean pop in and pop out and check if your rank changed, or pop in and pop out and check on your paycheck. I'm talking about, are you popping in, looking at what coaches are going inactive, looking at who's joined your team? Are you truly diving into the meat of the Coach Online office? Are you going into your sponsorship drill down? Are you looking as deep as you possibly can to see if maybe you have a grandbaby that could use your help, or you have a grandbaby that could use some recognition? Are you truly using the Coach Online office as the business platform and builder that it was designed to be? And if you're not, then you want to score yourself lower on the discipline scale. Number 9, this is a kind of all-encompassing events. We'll call it team calls and events. Are you listening to the National Wake Up Call every week? And if you can't be on live, are you scheduling it as a part of your weekly to-dos? Are you on the team call? For all of you, you are. But for those that aren't, are people actually watching the recordings? Ellen puts these up on YouTube. She knows how many times it's viewed. She knows how many people are on live. That's simple math. If she's got over 500 people on her team, probably closer to 600 now, and there's 20 people on live and only 10 views that have watched it on her YouTube, then we've got a lot of people on the team that aren't actually plugging into the team calls, which is a resource, a free resource, might I add, for you to build your business. The last piece of this, as far as the events and team calls, is things like Summit, Super Saturday, and Platinum Edge. Are you attending those? On a discipline scale of 1 to 10, where are you at? For those of you that have worked before in your life or are currently working, not for yourself, but for somebody else, if there was a mandatory event, quarterly event, I used to have quarterly sales meetings every quarter. A sales meeting in which I had to go, I had to listen to speakers, I had to listen to other people present every quarter. And if I didn't attend, I would have got my butt fired. So are you looking at events, things like Super Saturdays, Platinum Edge, Summit, as mandatory, no excuses, got to get it done? Where are you on the discipline scale of 1 to 10? And then last is training. Ellen will tell you, I love being educated. I love being educated. Why do I love being educated? I love being educated because it grows my mind and allows me to then exude that out to other people and teach and mentor other people, which she shared with you at the beginning is my passion. That's like my heartbeat. That's what makes me get up every morning, is the ability to mentor other people. So while you guys are calculating your scores, I'm going to finish my academic bankruptcy story. So fast forward several years, I'm a single mom. I have started my own company now. My company is making over probably we're billing $3 to $4 million a year at the time. Pretty successful. I ran a very, very tight ship. My overhead was very low, and we were doing very well. And I was sitting at the dinner table one time, and I was talking to my daughter and my son, Samantha and Michael. And again, these guys, they were really young. So Michael was maybe 5, Samantha was maybe 6. And I was talking to them about college. And I was saying to them, you guys really need, you need to go to college. And I started having the college conversation with my kids really young. And my daughter says to me, "Mommy, did you go to college?" So I'm asking my daughter to do something that I hadn't done myself. And I felt this twinge, this like I was incongruent as a person, as a mom. I was being a hypocrite. And so that weekend, I went online, and I researched how I could go to college. So now remember, I'm a single mom with 2 small kids running my own $1 million company. And I decided to go back to school because I didn't want to be incongruent with my kids. So I made an appointment with the school counselor at West Valley Junior College in Saratoga, California. And I went in there because I didn't know if they were going to let me in. I had basically failed out. And the guy sat across the desk from me, and he said, ma'am, I was like 30 something. "Ma'am, the best way for you to go back to college is to file academic bankruptcy. We'll essentially wipe out your entire semesters from before. Everything will be gone, even the 1A you did get, and you'll start from scratch." And so I did. And when I graduated in 2006, I graduated magna cum laude. I graduated top of my class because I was ready to be disciplined in what I chose to do for my life. My discipline matched my goals. And therefore, discipline for me going back to college, discipline was the bridge between the goals that I had in my life and the accomplishments that I got. So I want to see if there's anybody out here who's brave enough to tell me what their score was. You add all those up and tell me what your score was. Anybody out there brave enough? And if not, I'll call on somebody. Lexi.
I will. My score sucks. 33.
So now I'm going to put this in perspective, everyone, because we're talking about college. Do you realize, Lexi, that you just got a 33% on a test?
Yeah.
I think that is an F. I just
Just
think.
a little.
Jake, training. Are you engaging and often enough in training? All right, Kristen, I'm going to call on you.
47.
I think that's an F.
I think.
I think that's an F. All right. So now I want to make kind of a light of all this, you guys, because I'm not getting on here today to like bust your ass like a teacher would and say you're failing. I'm doing it to kind of bring light to what this thing called discipline actually looks like in our Beachbody business. I know for a fact, and I just got goosebumps even saying it because I know what I'm going to say next. I know for a fact that every single person on this call and in Ellen's team that's working the business have huge, massive goals. And a lot of people like to refer to me as a dream catcher. I'm one of those people where if you just give me just enough of a big enough dream for me to grab a hold of, watch out. Because I'm going to make you do the discipline. The discipline is where your business is either going to flop or it's going to soar. That's where it is. And I know that before we've heard consistency, but consistency and motivation, those are fleeting resources. Because if you're being consistent in the wrong things, guess what? I can be consistent in eating peanut butter cookies. What's it going to get me? Right? So you have to be consistent in the right things. And that's where the discipline comes. If your goals and discipline align, if they align beautifully like the stars in the sky, then your business is going to grow like Ellen's. Ellen has grown her business because she's been consistent. And I can tell you guys right now, as sure as I'm sitting here, that in the since August, since I came home from Summit and on my way home, I ended up stopping in Denver and not leaving because I had an emergency appendicitis. From that moment until probably beginning of November, my discipline sucked. Like, sucked. Now, again, I could tell you all the reasons it sucked, but the bottom line is it sucked. I made choices where I was in my life at that moment. And guess what? Although my business didn't tank because it was solid going into it, it was solid because of the discipline that I've put in the past. But I will tell you this. I'm not ending 2016 anywhere near where I thought I would, where I had the momentum to hit at the beginning of the year because I lacked discipline. So I'm going to call on a couple other people. Nick. Well, Nick, you don't count. Not that you don't count, but you've been buried in school. So we're gonna give you a break. Jembers.
I was coming in and out, and so I missed the first 4, so I don't have my total.
Okay, so I'm going to give them to you really quick, and then I'll come back to you.
Okay. Okay.
Personal development.
No, who's this?
Okay, hold on. India's giving me paper.
I love India.
I know, right?
Right?
Okay, what was Go ahead. Go.
Number 1 is personal development.
Okay.
Number 2 is Shakeology and workout, but daily, like full-fledged daily. 3 is invite. 4 is recognition. 5,
Perfect.
social media. Got the rest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see, Jelliot.
Yes.
What was your score?
Well, I counted up 24, but I did it on a scale 1 to 5, so I was going to redo it. I'm
All
like
right, so
halfway
still,
there.
so even if you did that out of 50, 24 out of 50,
Yeah,
I'll do your math real quick. I'll do it for you.
it was like 48%.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Jake, let's go you next.
I have 59.
59.
D.
All right. Ange, how about you?
57.
All right. Heather, where are you at?
48. I was really hoping you weren't going to call on me.
Sorry. All
I
right.
know.
Jembers, back to you.
51.
51. All right. Who did I miss, Ellen? Oh, Lindsay. Lindsay, where are you at?
I was cooking too, so I missed a lot of them, but I bet you I'm right in there 50, 60% at the most. So.
All right. All right. Ellen, where are you at? Oh, is she frozen?
No, I'm not. Am I frozen?
Oh, there you are.
I gave myself a 96.5.
So again, you guys, here's the cool thing. The cool thing is that we can all fail forward together, right? This is not like the end all be all chemistry test where you pass or fail this class and you're screwed, right? It's the opportunity to move forward one step, but recognition, taking the responsibility and realizing it is like the first step towards taking the discipline, making sure that you're implementing discipline into your business. So that's it for me.
Can I give a couple thoughts?
Yes.
I didn't know what she was going to talk about. And I also had 11 categories. So did I add a category?
Let's see.
Was National Wake Up Call and events the same as Summit and Platinum Edge? Okay.
Yeah.
So then I guess I'm an 86 because I gave myself 96 out of 110 points. Okay. I was going to just say that I think the predicate, I love this, I believe in this, in what CJ is coming to us with tonight about discipline, bridging the gap. And I think that the predicate is belief. Like you have to believe that you actually can have your goals, whatever they are. First, you have to believe that it's possible. Otherwise, there's not going to be a lot of gasoline behind your fire to be consistent. So assuming that you believe it's possible, and that's not hard to do. It's not hard to validate the kind of income and whatnot are the top echelon of the company is making. So it's not hard to get the belief down. But what I wanted to say is that as you begin to have successes, and those come in, a myriad of forms, physical, financial, psychological, how many of you guys can say this company's made you a better person? As those successes start to happen, it feeds and fuels that engine of consistency. So it can become a really delicate balance of the chicken and the egg, because the more successful you are, the more motivated you are to be consistent. And then the more consistent you are, the more you're going to be successful. It's like that whole chicken and the egg thing. And so I just wanted to throw that in there. And you guys all know we take our foot off the gas for a couple of months. Like it's awesome that we can do that. Like Nick needs to, like CJ had a season of, like she just shared on this call. Like we have some coaches need to take seasons of business remission, so to speak. But the business will be affected by that. I think you guys all know this is a business of what you do today, you reap 3 to 6 months down the line. So I guess I just wanted to throw some encouragement at you that consistency breeds those wins, and then the wins breed the consistency. So if you can get yourself in that domino fall, it's amazing. And also, I think it's really important. We've had a couple of new coaches. It looks like we lost Melanie, but Jennifer Ayers is on tonight. So 2 brand new coaches that just finished new coach training hopped on the call tonight. So that's so encouraging. Hi, and you changed your screen name from Green Love. I was going to say to you guys, not to them, but to you guys that have been around a while, it's so important for new coaches to have a little win early. It's so important for new coaches to have that like traction. And that's something I've become increasingly sensitive to over the years. Also, I wanted to say one more thing about she mentioned the team call. Who watches the team calls, who comes on live, who posts in our team page daily, like that is, and I know I say this from time to time, but as at least Team Play Hard grows, that really is how I decide like who to give my time to. Cause there's a lot of coaches, and I only have so many hours in a day, and I've got a family that needs to come first. So it is really important to me that you guys are on the team calls and checking in on the team pages. And obviously I'm preaching to the choir here. So yeah, I'm just reading. Wait, what happened with Nick? Did I miss an announcement?
He finished school.
Oh, thank God. Thank you, Jesus. Yes.
That's actually why I said something, why I skipped him, because I know him and Andrea have been doing crazy school stuff. So I didn't figure it would be fair to count him, because he probably just like got 105% in his program. So, we'll cut him a little bit of slack.
Oh, I'm so happy Felder's back. Back. Oh, and the other thing is CJ talked about business opportunity presentations and inviting when she hit that point number, I think 4 tonight. I think that we need to do another like team, either happy hour or coffee talk or live webinar. It's been too long. So let's start that conversation offline.
Yeah, and for those of you guys that are religious about coming on to the team calls every week, be really diligent about posting. Once Ellen posts, and I think you guys all are that I see in the team page, but post your takeaway, post how important it is to go, tag people that are in your downline, tag people that are your cousins and kind of cross line. If there was a message that was given in any one of Ellen's team calls that you think, so-and-so would really benefit from hearing, tag that person in the recording. Let them know, hey, oh my gosh, I think you would love this. It was really great for you. I know that I've had people do that in the past for me. Like, oh, hey, CJ, you really need to listen to this. And I'll be really honest with you guys, 99% of the time, I will take the time to watch it because somebody took the time out to say, hey, listen to this. And 100% of the time, there's some nugget in it that I can take away and use. I don't think I've ever in my life been tagged on something or told to watch something that I didn't truly appreciate and grow from after listening to it. So get more engagement in the team page, not in the team page, you guys have great engagement there, but in the team calls, because Ellen knows, she sees how many people watch it.
True.
Right?
Hey, so I'm going to say one more thing. This is totally off topic, but I know we all have like this interest in growing. And one of the things I appreciate about CJ and Embers does this with me is like, they'll tell me like, they'll straight up tell me things that maybe if I came across a certain way, or maybe if it's like annoying that my phone rings while I'm leading a team call or whatever, like they're not afraid to tell me things that they think will make me improve as a leader and a coach. And I just covet that. I love that. And then some of you have given me that permission with you. So like, I know for a fact, like Jake and I recently had a conversation. I know Kristen, I was like, hey, I think you should do I think that your Instagram is freaking amazing. Like it looks incredible, but your hashtags really suck. And I could just say that to her. And she wants it. And I know I can do that with Embers. Embers does it right back to me. But and so it's really nice that I've had that permission, because I I might go look at another coach and think, oh man, if they hashtag differently, they would probably see more traction in their Instagram. But I don't know if I have permission to go to them and say, hey, I see this, or I noticed this. It might have nothing to do with Instagram. It could be about anything about business. It's a conversation that moving forward I need to have with new coaches is how receptive are you going to be? Do I have permission to come to you? So because I didn't lay that groundwork with people on the team, and CJ too, with your troopers, and you guys with one another across the board, I just think it's a good conversation that we could have in this next week. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I end every single team call that I do with, go out, you guys, this week. As I get a frog. Go out, you guys, this week. Be bold. Live courageously. And dream bigger. Thank you, Ellen, for letting me be on.
Thank you so much.